everybody. Hello and welcome. So welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official LOTRO Twitch stream. And I am your host today, Little Redhead. I'll be taking you around Middle-earth as we wander around and check things out. So if you've been here before, you know that I definitely enjoy the more lighthearted aspects of playing around in Middle-earth. And so what I tend to do is focus on the festivals. Right now we are in between festivals. So we have the next festival coming up will be, well, Hobnanigans is coming up, that's not a festival, but that's next week. But Farmer's Fair is the next festival we have coming up in August. So until then, we are chilling out. So today I thought we would do some fun things. So we are going to, I'm in a neighborhood right now. Look at our cool neighborhood. I love our neighborhood. We are going to go off and do this week's Bingo Boffin quest because, so here we are on the Treebeard server. As you may see, I've got that list up at the top for you. And the Treebeard server, it's a slower progression server. So right now we are receiving a lower amount of experience for being on the server. So we go a little slower, which is great. And then also one of the things that they're doing is when Bingo Boffin, when that quest chain originally came out, they released those 1 week at a time. So we are getting that same experience here on this server. So let me talk to Wenda here. Always important to talk to your Wenda. All right, and then I need to put that over where I like to have it, which is down in the corner. Excellent. All right, I am ready to go. I haven't done my task boards. You know what? I think, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and do some task board stuff real quick here. Why not? So I'm going to open my shared storage because that's where I keep it. And I've got task board stuff right here. I think Delight Carapaces, are they good for Thorin's Hall? Let's find out. Working on Thorin's Hall rep because it's harder to get because we've been doing Bree and we've been doing the Shire and such. So I don't have that. That doesn't work for them. What else? Oh, it wouldn't want to talk to me twice. All right, let me open my shared storage and we'll take a look at what I've got. Okay, let's keep you open for a minute. All right, do I have Broken Daggers? No. Do I have Dirty Wing? No. Dull, matted. Okay, let's look at the next board over. Hey, other board. Maybe I have higher level stuff. Broken sword sheaths. Is that what I just put in my inventory? Nope, I put in carapaces. Let's put those back. We don't want those right now. Let's see, what else might we want? Dirty filth. We just went through this. Light carapaces. Hey, how about I take those back out again? Cool. All right. Thorin's Hall. People, I would love to give you this weird stuff. Remote quest. Oh, yes, the tasks at hand. So the reason why I'm doing this is because if you do 10 tasks in a week, oops, I forgot to turn those in a week, you get a universal crafting ingredient, which is like the auto crit item. So those are useful, especially if you're making like armor for yourself. Very useful, because then you get the better armor. Okay, let me finish this off here. Light carapace into the box. So my character, and this is the default for all of your characters when they start, is you can do 5 tasks a day. And each character can do 5 tasks a day. So one thing that we try to do is, for example, take all of your characters, run them through on Thursday, do 5, run them through on Friday, do 5, and that's 10, and that finishes the tasks at hand quest there, and that gives you that universal optional crafting ingredient, which, so for example, if I was woodworking and making something that I can crit, you can tell I haven't worked really hard on these yet. Ingredients have been hard to get, so. Okay, so let's say I was making this, and I'm like, oh, and look at that neat, heavy ash hammer of agility. And then it's like, or if I succeed And critically, when I'm making that little darling, I would instead get the hardened ash hammer of agility instead of heavy ash. And you can see like it does a little bit more damage. Now this is like a level 20 thing, so 2 more damage is actually probably a lot at this point. You know, it's got more DPS, it gives you a little more agility. It actually gives you maximum morale, which the base original one doesn't give you. So, you know, if you can get that critical version, that's better, right? So one way you can do that is you can use like a drop of ashy resin, and that will increase your crit chance by 45%, so it'll be 50% because you have a 5% crit chance. Or you can knock this over and go optional crafting ingredient, and that gives you a 100% chance of getting a critical on crafting that item. So those are useful little bubbles to have. Yeah, and especially they're great when you're crafting stuff for like your alts, because then I use all the crazy stuff. So I can use a universal ingredient pack, which are these ingredient packs that you can pick up from the crates that some people will have in their yards. And so I can use those. It will be bound to my account, but then I also throw on one of these bobbers. Well, I don't have one on me, but you know, pretend I had one. So I get a 100% chance. I wouldn't use any ingredients. It's bound to my account, so I can use it on any, I can give any one of my characters this excellent little hammer. So I like having that sort of stuff. Shall we mosey over to the crates? Sure. So let me mosey on my horse. I don't think we're moseying. I'm not as good as the equestrian people I was watching in the Olympics the other day. Man, they were pretty amazing. So you'll see these crates, this premium ingredient crate, and then there's the ingredient crate. There's the 2 different kinds. There's the regular one, and then there's the premium one. So the regular one gives you 3 of those universal ingredients that you can use to make things, and then the premium gives you 6. Premium's only usable by VIPs or people. Is that VIPs? Or let's see. Does it also include only usable by subscribers? So whatever fits under a subscriber umbrella. So you can get 6 off the one, 3 off the other. So it's a total of 9 you can get every day. And every single one of your characters can do that. So that's why I have so many already, because I pop here every day and make sure I pick those up. And I've been making more characters because that's how it rolls. Okay, let's go see Bingo. I can take us to Mickle Delving because I'm a hunter, right? Yes, I can. Bingo! Woo, woo. Let's go bingo in. Off to the bingo. Cute. Oh, hey, I don't have my fast feet on yet. It's like I haven't played my character in a week. I haven't played my character in a week. I mean, except for crates. I'm not sure if that, you know, how that counts. Hey, flu, hello. We're gonna wave at you. So, all right, so we're gonna go do bingo. And let me see, where are you? Yeah, I'm gonna follow you for a second. Are we going in a circle? No, no circles. I can't do circles today. We are moving. We're actually closing on a house. Wait, Bingo's not here. Oh, did we leave him inside? Okay. We're closing on a house on Monday, and so we're, you know, a little distracted by stuff like that. And oh, it's a little stressful. So, all right, but let's say hi to Bingo. Hey, Bingo.
The day has finally arrived.
All right, the day has finally arrived, he says. My journey begins. So over the past couple weeks, you know, we've been helping him out. Like, he's like, oh, maybe I should throw a party. And he's like, go check out the food nearby at the, you know, and he's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, fine, that'll work. Can you go get me a recipe book? So we get him a recipe book. And out of the recipe book falls a map. And he's like, what is this? Go take that to the Matham's house. I don't know what this is. And so then we walk it over to the Matham house. And just as we're like turning it in, somebody, you know, is like, hey, sounds like somebody wants that map that you just found, you brought to me. And it's Bingo. And he's like, actually, I changed my mind. I want to see that map. And he's like, ooh, this is exciting. Like, I think I want to follow this map and go on an adventure. So that's what he's been doing. He's been preparing for the journey, right? And he went all the way to Stock with the Brandywine River right there and tried to learn how to swim with small success. And and so now he's back home and he's ready to go. So he says, my journey begins, and I want you to travel with me if you do not object to the adventure. You are under no bond to go further than you will. So a little bit of parallel to Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship there. You know how the Fellowship was under no bond to go with Frodo, but it was on to them. So you're under no bond to go further than you will, and if you decide to take your leave at any point, I will not judge nor think less of you for the decision. But I hope that you will share in my journey no matter the miles. He says, do you know something, my high elf friend? I thought it would be more difficult to begin, but it seems that leaving is easy after all. I thought it would be more difficult to say goodbye to my home, but the idea of such an adventure fills my heart with excitement enough to propel my feet without regret. I've studied the map a great deal, and I believe we should leave Mickledelving by the eastern road, making for Waymeet and Tuckborough. Let us walk to the crossing of the ways at the town of Waymeet, and then decide our next course. Okie dokie. We shall do that. Now, oh yeah, we'll go outside. Okay, so we're gonna go travel to Waymeet and meet him there. It's just funny that we don't walk together, but it's a quest. So I was watching the Tolkien Professor. I've been watching some of their exploring Lord of the Rings, and then they go on adventures. Oh, we could walk. Why am I not following you? There we go. I'll follow you. We'll walk. We'll walk to Waymeet. So I was going to pull up the map, actually, because, okay, so we're over here in Mickledelving, which in Lord of the Rings apparently doesn't have a lot of description. You're taking us to Little Delving. Okay. There was a fence. Okay. So basically, this was the main east-west road if you wanted to go like to Bree or further on to the east. So now the dwarves, as they are coming through Ered Luin, if they wanted to go also somewhere, like this is their main corridor, they would come down this way, and then they would hit Waymeet, and then they would take the east road. So it was really interesting to think of Waymeet as a real meeting of the ways, where you would have to choose: are you going up to Ered Luin? Are you going off to the east? And it was really interesting in the game too. There's a dwarven like a dwarven trading post up in Needlehole. So that's kind of shows like the last place of the dwarves as they were going off to, yes, one could go to the South Farthing. It's fun to see and think about the scope of the world from like a Hobbit perspective or from a dwarf perspective, that sort of thing. All right. So we're walking over to Waymeet. And it's interesting too, because when you get there, there's like a caravan of of little trailers and things. So, but it looks like they've set up homes. Like they may be enclosures that could could move along. Like it's got wheels, right? All you gotta do is maybe hook up a couple horses to it, and off you go. But it does have that kind of look, like maybe some of the people have settled in a little bit. Like we've got some farming going on here. We've got a whole post, office with a postman and So, and hey, there's some dwarves over here, dwarven merchants, probably as they're passing through, brought some stuff with them, talking to the local hobbits. So, all right. So what we found Bingo and Waymeet. Hooray! He is a journeying hobbit. Oh, I didn't really pay attention. His titles change. So right now he's a journeying hobbit. Let's see if that lasts or if it changes into, I think at one point he's like a regretful hobbit or something like that. All right, so, I think I forgot something. I have spent the last few minutes trying to decide what has been troubling me, and I think I have it at last, got it sorted. My walking stick. I left it leaning against the side of my hobbit hole and did not pick it up when we departed. Would you mind running back to my hole and retrieving the walking stick? I thought it was going to be easy to leave, and easy it was. Easy to leave without my walking stick, but I miss it already and cannot go much longer without it. I hope you did not think me a fool for leaving it, but leave it I did. I will continue on to Bywater while you fetch the walking stick so we don't slow the journey over much. I will meet you in the center of Bywater in a short while. Okay. All right, shall I? Yes, I. All right, shall we? I'll just board us back. I do know a shortcut. That is one of the nice things about doing this part of the bingo quest with a hunter, is because he sends you back. Oh, spoiler alert. He sends you back a bunch of times to go pick up stuff that he forgot. So it's kind of handy to have a hunter who can zip you back and forth at this part. All right, where are you at? Oh, did you arrived and I didn't even notice. Oops. All right. Oh, and another thing that came up is so Marcho and Blanco were the original folks who got like permission from the king to take over this area for the hobbits, and so that statue is the two of them and another apparently famous adventuring female hobbit. So didn't know that that's who that was on. I didn't think about it really. So that was kind of cool when they were. So that in the Tolkien Professor, when they're exploring Lord of the Rings, they're going through the book a little bit at a time and really like in depth discussing it, and then oops, how do I get to? Yeah, that's what I want. And then they go on a little walkabout in LOTRO and discuss what they see. So I'm watching the earlier episodes, and so they've just gotten into, they're in the Shire. They were just looking at the hill recently. So that's been kind of cool to see things from that perspective. All right, so we are going to wander our way over to Bywater. So if you remember on a previous week, we were doing bingo, that he sent us off to talk to the gaffer, and get some advice about, adventuring and whatnot. And the gaffer's advice was don't. Oh, hey, branches. Oh, I forgot to grab my tool. Hang on. I have one universal toolkit because I'm cheap and I want to buy one for every one of my characters. So I've just been trading it amongst everybody. So I have a spot in my vault to put it. Yes, I want to pick that up. Put that on. Now I can pick up the branches. I know it's kind of silly. There we go. Okay. Oh, I don't have my search for branches thing on, do I? Where is it? There it is. Cool. Oh, of course, they're all over the Shire. Okay, so yeah, so the gaffer was like, yeah, adventuring, don't. That's not what hobbits do. But, if he's got his heart set on this, go get him some apples. There's an apple orchard right here. Help yourself. So we do that, and we get him a bunch of apples, and we go back to bingo, and he's like, oh, that's so kind. And I don't like apples. So we ditch the apples for him. We pass them off to some other hobbits. And in doing so, however, we leave them at the Bird and Baby Inn for others to enjoy. And in doing so, one of the other hobbits of the in the area, she takes note of what we are doing. What are these sticks on the ground? I don't understand them. Yes, only a woodsman like myself would understand that this is usable material, as opposed to those rocks that are growing out of the ground that you go and pick up. I don't know what's going on with that. So, so she's like, what is going on? And then she just kind of reads your face, and she's like, I see. So, I'm sorry, whose are these? Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? Did you say bingo? So why does bingo need to be, what's going on? She just like figures it out. She must have like a bunch of children or something. So yeah. So now since she knows, bingo's like, oh gosh, everybody's gonna know. So as he gets himself over here to Bywater, you'll find that there is a small collection of people outside the inn, outside the Green Dragon here, who are discussing this rumor of Wait. Oh no. It says return to and grab the walking stick. I did grab the walking stick. It doesn't think I did. I gotta go back. Hang on. I'll grab these branches and then I'll zip back. Hmm? Okay. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Hold on. I gotta go back over to the Hobbit hole. Apparently I grabbed a stick, but it was the wrong stick. You know, all these sticks, they look alike. You'd think I'd know better as a woodsman and all. That's too funny. I did select it, and I thought I said use it. I wonder if I moved. That's also quite possible. That seems like something I might do. All right, so we're going to run back over to Bingo's hole and go, do you mean this stick? So, and when we get back over there, by then, I will bet there'll be a group of people who have gathered around to watch this chaos, which is a person trying to leave on an adventure in the Shire. What a crazy person would do that. Hmm? Well, hey, Shoreless Skies, how are you? I'm apparently forgetful and forgot to pick up Bingo's walking stick, went all the way back to his house, and didn't bother picking it up. Oh, sweet, I'm being summoned. Yes, I will take the summons halfway across the Shire. Actually, it wasn't even that far. You're not playing a captain, though. Oh my gosh, we're on the roof. No, we're on the sign. It's the Green Dragon sign. Okay, so you'll notice now, since we have gone and come back, these nosy bystanders have definitely picked up on something going on around here.
Anything about Mr. Bingo Boffin?
He's like, do you know anything about Mr. Bingo Boffin? My friends and I saw him around town, but he gave us the slip and went off somewhere. They say he is going off on an adventure, which we find most peculiar. Indeed. This whole leaving home, like, why would anybody do that? Things are not so bad? Awesome. That is good. Oh, you streamed yesterday, right? And I totally missed it. I apologize. But how did it go? Hopefully you had fun. So we go into the Green Dragon, which, by the way, is, so every server, like, everything is identical, basically. I mean, except for places where it's not, but that's a whole nother conversation. You had fun, and you hope everybody else did too. That's awesome. Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. Okay, so over, on Laurelin, which is the one of the role-playing servers, there's basically there's a couple of role-playing servers. So Laurelin is one of them. It's EU, English language mostly kind of server. And so on Friday nights on Laurelin, there's hobbits that gather here in the Green Dragon Inn at 7:30 UK time, because the people who run it are based out of, well, they base it out of UK time. It's just easier that way because we're all in European countries, and so tagging it to UK time just works as opposed to tagging it to US server time because of the time change when it's not always lined up. So anyway, so 7:30 UK time, Friday nights, we come here and we all gather over here, and whoever is like running the event will come over here and stand on the rug, and you know they'll talk about what's going on. You know, they'll give a little speech or something, and you know, tell a story, and then people are invited to let them know if they would like to also partake of telling stories or playing music or whatever. And so it's definitely a lot of music, but lately we've had poems and stories, and that's been kind of fun. So that's really neat. Also, in Lord of the Rings, in the early chapters, there's talk about like, there's the gaffer and the older Sandyman, and then later on there's Sam and Ted Sandyman talking about, you know, things that are fantastical, and you know the Sandymans are like not having any of it, and they're like, you know, those are some fireside tales that, you know, children get told. And so it's fantastic that there is a storyteller by the fireside telling stories to some townspeople. So it was kind of like a little touch in there that was reflective of the books. That's great. So I will come over here with Affodil and Bingo. You stole his chair. Oh, you got to get back to work, so you'll just be listening. Okay, well, it was good to see you. Yeah, feel free to pop in anytime. So, okay, so this is a little funny glitch that happens is when you are, here, let me zoom in. Oh, steal his chair again. So like, notice there's 2 chairs at this table. So if you do the sit thing, /sit, and you're too close to like an NPC, you steal their chair, but they don't change. So they're basically sitting on an invisible chair. It's fantastic. Hang on, let me see if I can get a little closer there. Oh, he's got his chair back. So anyway, I think it's funny. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty funny. All right, so let's talk to the Bingo.
There you are, my traveling companion.
He says, there you are, my traveling companion, and you have collected my walking stick. Very good. This will be a big help on the miles ahead. I do not doubt it. I did not nip into the Green Dragon just for this ale, though it is quite good, and you should try some. No, I was being followed about town by a number of nosy hobbits and came in here to evade them. I think perhaps we two, or 3, or also, we'll say we also, should leave quietly and slip through the swamps around Frogmorton so we can leave without being pestered. I will meet you in the Frogmoors. So we're going to pretend that we know like a little side exit to get out of here. As far as I know, there isn't one. Like, you know, if you check down here, all you find are barrels. Like this is the storage area. But you know, we can pretend that we gave him the slip. We went out the back. Sunflower. Aw, yay, a sunflower picture. Very nice. Barmy, why don't you have that up on the wall, man? Got a whole bunch of other stuff on the walls. He's even got books in here. He's got a lot of books in here. Which is interesting because not everybody knows exactly. Not everybody has learned their letters and numbers. So that's fascinating that there's a lot of books in here. I didn't notice that before. I'm usually very distracted by all the singing and stuff. Oh, and of course we dance, you know. So somebody will play music and everybody dances. That's great. And, you know, there's sometimes some gossip and things like that. You know, we're hobbits. That's what hobbits do. So we've got these nosy bystanders still waiting around here. So we're going to head off to the Frogmoors. You're talking to Drogo Boffin. Oh, so just while we're standing here, I will point out that the next festival, as I was mentioning earlier, is the Farmers Festival, or Farmers Fair. Let me pull this up. Let me get the right thing right. Yeah, Farmers Fair. And here, I'll put this in the chitty chat in case anybody was wanting to look it up. But the dates are, it runs from August 10th, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, server time, to August 31st, 3 a.m. server time. So when it's happening, it's going to be, this is one of the primary locations of the Farmers Fair. It'll actually be taking place here in Bywater, and then also by the water where there's fishing, and then there's also some things up at the hill. So it's all right in this area. There'll be a whole bunch of, well, and you go down to Hobbiton too. So it's all right in here that you do the Farmers Fair stuff. So that's exciting. All right, shall we go check out the Frogmoors and see if we can find Bingo in and among all of the frogs? His favorite thing, I'm sure. So, and we've got a little crafting area there, which is great. But we don't need to craft anything right now. We're good. And we've been leveling up a little bit, actually. We've been, we're turtle stoned, but we went ahead and unturtled for a little bit because we were in Bree, and we were going through, like on Saturdays, we get together with our kin and we go adventuring. So on Saturday, we were off into like the Barrow Downs and did a bunch of quests out there. Oh, actually, we went out to the Lone Lands. Sorry, Barrow Downs was 2 weeks ago. Last week, we went out to the Lone Lands, and we started doing quests like on the Forsaken Inn side of that. Let me just zoom out and zoom back in. So yeah, we went to the Lone Lands, and we did like all the quests that come in and out of the Forsaken Inn. So all the goblin stuff that's down here, and then like the guys that are up on the perch, I think it's here. And yeah, so we did a whole bunch of quests off in this area, and then we're over in this area now, and that's kind of where we paused. But it seemed like being a little bit higher level might not be a bad thing for us. So we went ahead and unturtled for a little while. So we're level 27 at the moment.
We evaded the nosy
So,
hobbits,
in
but
fact, you know,
choice of detour is not ideal.
I'm gonna unturtle for a moment so I get like, because I've got blue bar from my VIP. You know, in your VIP, yeah, you can see it on my screen down at the bottom where your experience bar is. For VIP, you get blue additional bonus basically. So I'm gonna use some of that while we're while we're running around. But I'll stay in level 27. I won't go over. All right, he says, I think we evaded the notice of the nosy hobbits, but my choice of detour may not be ideal. You see, I simply cannot stand frogs and toads. Why did he go through the frog wars? The sight of them fills me with trepidation, and I find myself unable to move. No, do not say it. I thought perhaps the frog moors was just a silly name. I did not know it would be a home to so many of the creatures. Slimy, croaking devils. Can you defeat some of the wild hill toads in our way? Just enough for me to get back to the road? I would appreciate it ever so much. And I think we already did the quests in this area, because there's a quest. Did we? Okay. Because there's a quest to come out here and defeat other toads for somebody else, and then you got to go find Lobelia the toad. It's a whole thing. But yeah, we went all over the Shire. I was going to say, I think we did everything in the Shire. For some reason, there's a part of me that thinks maybe we missed something, but I don't think we did. So, bottom line is this should be not too difficult for us. But it's funny because everything's going to be gray. So, let's see. Oh, there's a wild hill toad. Because that's what we need, right? Yeah, wild hill toads. All right, we're just gonna stand here and shoot them because that's what I do. I really enjoy playing a hunter. I do find that fun. I have, however, gotten this crazy idea to have one of each class on this server. Yeah, which is 10. There's 10 classes. Soon to be 11. Oh, that's true. When the brawler comes out, there'll be 11th. I only have 12 spots, so well, we'll just. I mean, that will be my 12th because I made 2 hunters. Because I've got my high elf hunter, and then I've got my hobbit hunter. Because sometimes I'd rather play a hobbit. All right, how many more toads do we need? Oh, we're done with toads. Okay, back to bingo we go. Awesome. That was pretty easy. It helps when you're in a fellowship because then everything counts for everybody. That's nice. Hey, bingo. We did stuff. How's that?
Going to believe this, but I have forgotten something else.
Yeah, he says, you're not going to believe this, but I have forgotten something else I wish to bring with me. I brought one of the satchels I intended to bring, but forgot the other. Man, I hope our moving doesn't go like this next week. Can you run back to my home and retrieve it for me? I simply cannot do without this other satchel. Indeed, it contains almost the entire reason for my journey. You have defeated enough of the toads that I should be able to make it back to the road, and will continue the journey while you run back to get my other satchel. I'll meet up with you on the outskirts of the town of Budgeford if you find that agreeable. And if we don't, too bad. Because that's how the quest goes. All right, shall I find those secret paths back to Mickledelving? I'm a-looking. All right, awesome. So anyway, so I've made a couple other characters already. I think I'm up to 7 on the server. That's with including my 2 hunters. So I have 4 more to go. So a lot of them are characters or classes that I haven't played before, like Warden, Captain. There's a number of them I haven't played before. So now this is the server where you can choose, one of the 2 servers, where you can choose the difficulty level you want to play at. And part of the reason for having one of every class is because then I would have the ability to get all of the titles. However, I don't know, like it's going to be hard to get to level 50 for titles, you know, to get my characters to level 50, because that's where the first set of titles are, if I don't know how to play the class. And so currently what I'm doing is I'm making the character, and then I pick the difficulty level, and then I go and just set them on farming for a little while. Like, you know, plant a crop, grab a crop, plant a crop, grab a crop. Just do that for a while. And I'm getting all of them into their mid-20s. Oh, okay. So I'll wait for yours too. So yeah, I'm getting them into their mid-20s, and then, they'll kind of collect dust for a while I decide if I'm going to play them, or like, how am I going to get them to 50? I haven't decided yet. Because, okay, so here's my thing. Is like when I'm playing a character, when I create a character, like they exist for me. And I have a hard time deleting characters. So that's really what it comes down to. So, yeah. Am I going to play them? Oh my gosh, that's true. They would level up a lot at the festivals. So, Hobbiton? Okay. So it's actually really funny because, as you may know, I quite enjoy the festivals, right? In Lord of the Rings Online. And so when it comes festival time, okay, so when I first started playing LOTRO, I was on one server, and then I expanded to two. So I was on Brandywine and I was on Anor, because I was hoping to get time to play with a friend of mine. She was on Anor, and I was living in Europe, and she's living in the United States. So I thought, hey, maybe we'll have a chance to play, on Anor. Now, unfortunately, she has kids and stuff, and so our schedules just haven't lined up. But I've still had that hope. And then over time, so then we started playing on there was the tournament server a year ago, last summer, on called Bombadil, and that was the Tournament of the Twins. And that was, of course, people from all over the place. So we met people on a whole bunch of servers, which was really awesome. And because, like I said, we're living in Europe, and I had wanted to play on an EU-based server, or EU-focused server, because then we are more likely to have people that are playing in our time zones and kind of understand, like you just think differently. I think U.S. versus Europe. I mean, they just kind of approach things differently, and so we really like that kind of more mental mindset of Europe. That's why we're here. So so finding other people to play with that also, might have a similar understanding, so if like you're talking about something, it's not, somebody's not like, what do you talk about? As opposed to us, we're like, hey, there's the flooding over there. And they're like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of, it's just, it just makes it easier, to play with people who are kind of also experiencing the same kind of local news or regional news that you are as well. Okay, so we wanted to play on a EU server, and so after Bombadil happened, we met a bunch of people, and so we met people who played on Evernight, which is one of the EU servers. We're like, great. So we started characters there, and then some of the people who we'd played with on Bombadil or met that way were also playing on Anor, and so we kind of expanded our circle of friends there also. So then we were playing, and I moved most of my characters from Brandywine over to Landreval, because they have the events and stuff like that on Landreval, and Landreval is nice. It's a cool server. So I was no longer playing on Brandywine, but I was playing on Landreval for festivals, and Anor, and Evernight. So anytime a festival was coming up, yeah, I was like on 3 servers, which is a little funny. And then, let's see, which was server number 4? What am I forgetting? Oh, Laurelin. I started on Laurelin around the same time. Duh. Yeah, so actually I was doing Landreval for festivals, Anor every Saturday, Laurelin through the week and on Fridays, and then Evernight in the evenings. And festivals on all of those, on all 4 of those. So that was a little crazy, but I basically have gotten to the point where I figure out, okay, who's my main on that server, and then I make sure that they run through the festival and get all the tokens and the figments and all of that, so that way I can get, whatever it is that's available, and the cool furniture items that are available during the festival, all those sorts of things. Oh, did we pass bingo? I think we did. I'm going to dismount. He hasn't made it back to stock yet. He will, I bet. But I forgot, we left him over in Budgeford. So yeah, so then Treebeard started, and I was like, this sounds so much like what I want, because I was really enjoying the Honora experience, but it was just going too fast. The server is just like updating so fast, and like we just weren't keeping up. So yeah, I was looking for something that was like a slower experience, and the updates would go slower, all of that. So when they announced Treebeard and Shadowfax, I was like, yes, this sounds like practically perfect. All right, so let's see, what does he have to say? Leaving. Leaving is not easy. See, now his name, he's a journeying hobbit. I think that's what he was before. Okay, leaving is not easy. He says, there you are, and you have retrieved the satchel I left behind. Thank you very much for this, my friend. Do you know why this satchel is so important for me to have? It is because this bag contains my parchment, quill, and several ink bottles. I intend to write about my journey, keeping a record of everything that happens to us on the way. See, he's got a little Bilbo going on there. I want to document my adventure so I will never forget it. I thought it would be easy to leave my home. I told you as much when we departed Mickle Delving, did I not? But it seems that some part of me has been dragging his feet. First, I left my walking stick. Then I developed a fear of toads I never had before. And then I discovered my satchel and writing supplies were left behind. Like young Willibald here, with the hole in his boat, I am finding it harder to leave home than I expected. But I will not give up. As long as I have you nearby to encourage me, my friend, the journey awaits. So, next week, we can get into a brood of boffins. So we'll finish this. And there we go. And I got 5 bingo badges. Woo woo. I'm not getting in there. Besides, you have a hole in the bottom. You're not going anywhere. I know that much. These two have this funny little conversation about, where are you going? I'm going on an adventure. And they're like, no, you're not. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, so we are really enjoying Treebeard. So yeah, when I get to the point where I have 11 characters here, plus the 6 or 7 that I have on Landy, and 3 on Laurelin, and 4 on Evernight, and 3 on Anor. Yeah, it's probably just not. Most likely, I will just pick 2 or 3 on each server at the most to do. Yeah, we'll see. That's so funny because you're the second person who's asked me about that today. Yep. All right, chop chop, Willibald, off you go. All right, shall we go chicken it up? Chicky. Sure. I guess we are far from chickens. Do you want me to take us back to the delving that is Mickle? All right. So apparently Mickle means like big or grand or large, big. It's the big town. So Mickle Delving is like the big delving. It's kind of, that's true compared to Little Delving, which would be a small town. It's just funny, in that whole naming of things, how Tolkien had a habit of kind of naming things pretty flat on, by water is by the water. Hobbiton is a town of hobbits. Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. So it's just funny that, the main city is called basically Big City. And the nearby one is Little City. Little, yeah, big town, little town. What should we call this town? Over the hill. Overhill. Yeah. So, funny stuff. Funny stuff. Yeah, so that's why I haven't decided what all my characters are doing on this server yet. Because, managing 11 characters is a little bit silly and all that. So I probably won't actively play all of them, especially since I don't know how to play half of them. And I do enjoy Hunter. Every time I'm doing something else and then I get back into Hunter, I'm like, oh, this is like putting on that comfortable sweater that you love, Reminds me of that sort of feeling. Although I did make a lore master already, and I do enjoy lore masters. They're pretty cool. All right, so when we left off, we had come by here already, and we spoke with Wald Sandson, and he started us off with a quest that was which laid first, where we had to go and return some eggs out to nests that he had taken the eggs out. Hey, Flu Flu, you gonna come with us? You should totally come with us. Come be a chicken. So we did that, and then that brought us over here to Billina, and we had to find out what's wrong, what's bothering her. So we did a couple of quests with her, and then it kind of turned us over to George. And so now it's like, what's bothering George? Excuse me. But basically, mainly it all comes down to the fact that these two, and chickens and roosters and animals of the Shire in general, have to varying degrees recognized that something's going on. Like there's more wolves, there's more, there's stuff going on, and it's not good. Like they're scared, they're nervous, and so each one of these quests is basically, can you go and talk to another animal or animals and get us some help, basically. And in every case, pretty much we go off to the other animals, and they're like, yeah, I cannot help you for one reason or other. Maybe one reason is I want to eat you because you're a cute little, nom-nomable thing, or things like that. Or no, we have trouble of our own. Or no, I'm busy. No, I don't see a problem. Things like that. So, wait, have you not picked up fishing yet? Oh, I got fishing, I think. Let me check my character. Hobby. Yeah, I've been fishing. I have started fishing. I'm all the way up to 11 on fishing. That's not very high. It's not very high at all. But it's a start. Then distracted. All right, let us be chickens. All right, let's see. What do we have? So, okay, when we finished the quest that we did with George last time, so now he has this whole set of quests for us where flying the coop, they're going to take us to all these different areas around Eriador. So there's like one for Avendim, one for Breitland, North Downs, Lonelands, Trollshaws. Don't think we go to Forakel. Yeah, we don't. So, yes. You want to do Erdluin? Yeah? All right. Let's do it. George still seems agitated. Let's take a look. Let's find out. All right, George, tell us about Erdluin. So, there's 20 slots open in the session playing. So, we will be taking up 3 of those. But you could have, like, a whole cluster of chickens running around together. A whole flock, even. So, yes. All right. Ooh, how's everybody? Seems like we got a few folks who's popped in. Oh, Mr. Hobbit. Hi, Mr. Hobbit. I've been enjoying some of the tweets and stories that Mr. Hobbit has been putting out there. Some very silly stuff. Okay, we are a chicken. And we do not need to do lyrical. All right, so when you notice when you become a chicken that you have like a little tilde next to your name. So you're still that character. Oh, hey, there's Mr. Hobbit. But you are a chicken. So there's a lot of things you can't do. Like you don't have the abilities that you had before. You don't have, you can't communicate in the same way. So what we do to kind of deal with that is I go to my options and I go to speech bubbles. So that way if any of the chickens say anything in say, at least I will see it. Now, Mr. Hobbit, he is a hobbit. We are chickens. We cannot communicate with each other. So he can stand there and talk all day long. He could be, saying this and saying that and whatnot. we are out of luck. We cannot communicate with him in that way. Best thing we could do is, like, I don't know, hop up and down and flutter at him and be silly, right? Okay, so Affodil has found the next creature that we are going to go talk to. We need to go talk to the creatures of Eredluin. Okay, I'm going to follow you, Affodilio. Let me close my travel window. I think Eredluin's the other way. Oh, I am wrong. You are right. Okay, so we're doing Flying of the Coop, Eredluin. So George has asked you to speak to the creatures of Eredluin. You should seek out and speak with the Lynx Mother. And luckily it tells us the Lynx Mother is at Thrassy's Lodge in Eredluin, north of Kellendam and Doolin. Okay, so George feels that help, this is the overall thing, George feels that help must be found from beyond the Shire to defend against the invading wolves. So that is what we are off to go do. And you'll notice on our little Bany radar here, everything that we might encounter is red. Well, the things that won't automatically attack you won't be red, but these slugs, well, they're on our radar, but they're yellow if you click on them. So they're not going to attack us just by running near them, but other things will. There are things that will attack us just by going near them. And we have a very different proximity filter on as a chicken than you do perhaps as a hobbit. Thankfully, it seems like it's a different proximity, like it's more forgiving for chickens. So it's possible that we could run by something that, like a level 10 hobbit, if they ran by it, would attract their attention, but we don't. So that's nice. That is convenient. So here we are running through the bog. Where's Flu Flu? Did we lose him? Where are you? You are there. I don't have Flu Flu coming up. Did we leave them behind? Oh, regional chat works. Well, at least I saw you say something. I don't know if... let's see, I see Mr. Hobbit. Also, out of character works, you think. Oh, nice. Out of character channel might work when you're a chicken to talk to other chickens in the area. I do see the out of character, but I don't see any responses. But I could try and respond to regional. I can see regional, and let's see. Cool. Letting my fellow chickens know if I'm seeing or not seeing what they are seeing, you see. So, okay. Oh. What do I see? Oh, heh. I can see what other chickens are on. Ha! Well, that's a kick. That is so funny. You can't raid up, though. It's too bad. I wish we could. Man, that'd make life easier as a chicken. Chicken raid. That'd be fantastic. Now, you get enough chickens together, you can actually take out, like, small things. Like, I think there was a chicken group that took out, I think we were part of a chicken group that took out something. Maybe it been a wolf. It was something reasonably low level. Could have been a wolf, though. Those things are scary, but somebody took it out. Oh, remember I was talking earlier about the Dwarven outpost? I think, yeah. Did we already pass it? I might have already passed it. But you'll notice, like, the architecture here is very Dwarven. Yeah, the outpost was back there, I think, by that bridge, by that big bridge in the background. But that's okay. Yes, chickens cannot pick up copper or branches. Hello dwarf. So yeah, so you can see that this is kind of like, yeah, where the dwarves were kind of passing through from Eredluin and then heading down through the Shire on their way to the east, like if they're going out to the other mountains and stuff. And a dwarf and a hobbit. So this is where it's really interesting that, yeah, dwarves and hobbits definitely have some would have some interaction just based on, you know, the borders of their areas coming together, and probably some trade and all sorts of stuff. So yeah. So yeah, when it comes to what I'm going to do for some of those characters, I think it might be easiest to level some of them um, with festivals. Maybe I'll just like pick one, and that one will do festival. Shall we go through? You're almost as big as that dog. I mean, I guess. Hello, doggy. Hey, there's Flu Flu. Awesome. All right, shall we make our way through to the next adventure? All right, here we go. All of a sudden, we show up in Erlun. Dun, 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 dun. And off we go. It's good stuff. It's funny. 1,100 meters to the Lynx Mother. So Affodil has Waymeet, which is a plugin. Plugins are very useful. I use plugins a lot, actually. And so there's a list actually there in the chat that you can look at some of the plugins that some of us use often. And then LOTRO Interface is a great website where you can get where people who make plugins for LOTRO, they put them there. So it's like a big database website of plugins that are useful for LOTRO. Yeah, Waypoint is great. I I like Waypoint, but I don't use it very often. But Affodil uses it prolifically, and I'm fine to follow Affodil when that's happening. That works for me. I love Titan Bar. I use Titan Bar a lot, so that's this one up here at the top. What else have I got on here? Let's see. I've been using Social Guy. Social Guy is pretty cool because we, as a kinship here on Treebeard, have been. So there's hidden social deeds. So like if you receive like /salute 100 times, then you get a salute. Like I think it's the one where you hold the sword up in the air, or what is it, cheer? If you receive cheer 100 times, you get fire breathing, the fire breathing emote. So fun things like that, right? And then there's some of them are just titles like the annoying, or I forget some of the other ones. But so you receive certain emotes 100 times, and you can receive either a title, angry, beg. You receive these emotes, and you get a title or an emote that you can do. Now you can only though receive 5. It only increments forward by 5 in a day. So maybe you need 100, times that you receive somebody begging at you. But after you can get 5 today, and then that's as far as it goes. Wait till tomorrow, gets 5 more. So it takes basically like 20 days of receiving 5 a day. And so as a kinship, we are basically like emoting at each other. Yeah, like a lot of class deeds where it's got, a maximum you can do per day. So we're emoting at each other in the kinship. It's hilarious. So that's been a lot of fun. I just thought of something. If somebody raids on Twitch, will it tell me that in chatty? We think so. Okay. Okay, awesome. Because usually when I'm not streaming, I don't use chatty. I'm just in Twitch, and so I have not actually thought about that until just now. Anyway, so we're going to Thrassy's Lodge, and which you've probably been there if you play LOTRO, because it is in an early area. It's right here that we're going to. So if you're coming from like the dwarves, or if you're coming from the elves, in the opening sequences and stuff, the prologues, they usually send you up here for one reason or another. Okay, so here we go to the Lynx Mother, and we're going to say hi to her. And she says, "You wish for me to protect a chicken coop? Until I was wounded, I fed my cub by stealing chickens. Well, I would rather steal them than chase them. So be gone with you." So she's going to nom on us is her preference. She's not going to come and help send away any wolves from our chicken coop. So she is not going to help us. So flying the coop Erlun, talk to the creatures of Erlun. We had 60 minutes to do it. We've done it we have 48 minutes left. So we're going to finish this now. So session completed, because we only had the one that we needed to talk to in Erlun. We will be logged off in 5 seconds. So it's going to basically complete my chicken session and send me back to the farm. So here we go. Big scary screen in the way. On the way. And then we're going to show up back at Sandson's farm, and we will complete this particular quest. So we're going to go report to George, let him know what we found out. And the answer is no help. Yep. Wow, it's taking a minute there. But yes, so we are really enjoying Treebeard. I'm really enjoying Treebeard. And I'm really enjoying the slower progression of it. Like, we have currently the server cap is like level 50. And it's going to stay that way for probably 5 to 6 months. And then it'll go up to, well, we'll get Mines of Moria. So anyway, George flaps his wings excitedly. He seems he sees something approaching. So what he sees approaching will be a rooster. That was us. And so the rooster comes over and it talks to George, and George goes, "Cock, cock, 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 cock." There we go, like that. And then it goes, "Cock, cock, 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 cock," and then it wanders off. And then once it's out of sight, if somebody else does that in the group, or not in the group, just in general, then the rooster will come walking in. Now, if you do it while the rooster is still, around, it's like it was just there, so it just completes the quest for you, but you don't have the rooster come in and go quack, 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 quack. Hello again. So yes, so I've been using Social Guy because here, I'll go ahead and pull it up for you. It's got them all listed here, the ones that are in blue, and yeah, it's pretty awesome because you can just come in here, and so like if I wanted to emote at Affadil, for example, I'll just do, and remember it's 5 a day, so I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And it's also kind of convenient, like if you're just like, hey, I just want to pull up this list real quick and make that easier. All right, so we're gonna thank Mr. Hobbit. So I can just click on that and be like, thank you. And it goes, shh. It's cool. So which one do we want to do next? We've got just under an hour. Well, let's see. Breland's pretty short. Trollshaws. How long did it take us to do Trollshaws last time? Is that like 45 minutes? Yeah. Because, okay, what's the furthest one? Trollshaws is pretty far. North Downs isn't too bad because we go through there to get to the Trollshaws. Avondale takes a while. I think we should just do Trollshaws and go talk to the horse. Spoilers, we have to go talk to the horse. Oh, hey, let me turn the light on. It's getting dark in here. It's getting to be evening time and whatnot. So, okay. I think, oh, is he a little guy? I didn't actually check his level. He's a level 20. Oops. Actually, we actually don't need an escort. Oh, you want to do the lounge? No. Well, it'd be cool if Mr. Hobbit just joined us as a chicken. Oh, sure. Hey, Mr. Hobbit, come be a chicken. Although, yeah, come be a chicken. We could just be a whole group of chickens. It's even more fun. Yeah, if you haven't done the quest yet, you haven't got it yet, well, here's where it starts. If you want to do this, we could do one of the adventures while you do the quest line, and then by the time we get back, we'll do the next one with you. So you start with Wald, and he's gonna have you do a chicken nest thing, and the nests are all out there, and you've got in your, probably in your inventory, there's a riddle that tells you who, you know, this one's before that one, and this one's before that one, and so on. All right, so, all right, while he's working on that, we could do Avendim? Okay, we're gonna do Avendim. So, Flu, come join us in Avendim. Unless you don't want to. That's always an option. You know, you don't have to join us as a chicken. It's just fun. I do think it would be fun to start organizing, like, you know, once 6 months or something like that, chicken adventures. I think that'd be cool. I could do it once a year, I suppose. All right, we are chickens. Let's see, Affodil is here. I see Affodil. And, yeah, thanks. I'm gonna pull up my chat bubbles. Chat bubbles. There we go. All right, looks like Flu's coming. Just have to give him a moment to, there he is, woohoo! All the little chickens, all the little chickens. Okay. We can go flop around to Mr. Hobbit. So Mr. Hobbit's been making Hobbits on all of the different servers. And on one of them, I can't remember which one, he's doing the whole thing about can you get out of the intro at level 1? And the answer was yes. But you have to turtle stone right away. And it's really funny the amount of things you cannot do when you're level 1. Like you can't pick up VIP services. Oh yeah, dash. Foul fleetness. Is that right? Yeah, that was it. What else? Gosh, there's so many things you can't do when you're level 1. Like there's so many quests they don't even want to talk to you because you're not high enough level yet. So yeah, you can't do any crafting probably. I don't know. Yeah, I think the crafting quests you can pick up. I don't know. He had a whole set of posts out there, tweets and stuff. It was kind of funny. So Dora's farm that we're going through here, we have to be careful because there are wolves here. And yeah, they will notice us. Are we jumping? Whoop. Okay. There we go. Did we lose Flu again? Oh no. Let's see. Regional. Oh, whoops. Oops. Farm. I came in. There we go. I cannot type for some reason. I don't know what it is, but my fingers just want to do things in the opposite orders of things lately. So, I don't know. Yeah. So I was wondering if Sandy's here. Nope. Okay. So I've been working on some crafting stuff, and I was gonna show off. Well, sort of. So I got excited about the Olympics, and there was, and I'm very, very excited about like yarn and making things. So bring those two together, right? There's a, and I like gifts. I like, you know, getting things that are useful and functional. So just like having stuff doesn't really bring me joy, but having things that are useful to have is pretty dang cool. So, oh, okay, we're on the bridge over by, oops, I'm under the water. It's all right. Thanks. We're in the bridge by Hobbiton. Hopefully you can find us over here. So, okay, so there was a box that was put together
for during the Olympics that you open like one package a day, and like it's one of those, you know, you make it as the time goes along, but you don't know what you're making, and so it's a big surprise kind of thing. So the first, so that they have you open, so you know, packages each day, and one day must have been the first day. So we opened up this yarn. Oh, don't pay attention to the thing at the bottom yet. So we opened up this yarn. That was the first thing that we got, and that's our base color. That's our color A. One day, one of the things we opened was this like yarn cozy. So you put it around your yarn ball, but my yarn ball's too big for it right now. But this, well, I didn't want to squish my yarn either. So you go put it around, it kind of holds your yarn balls together. So that's cute. Also, one of the things we opened up was this little container, and you can put stuff in it. So that was pretty neat too. So then each day that you open yarn, there's a video that goes up, and it has like the pattern and that you're doing for that with that yarn. And so you're learning things as you go. So for example, I'll show this to Sandy later. So this is what we've made so far. So the first thing we did is we made a triangle. Actually made 2 triangles because they want you to have a second one for later. We don't know why. Well, I mean, we did, yeah, we don't know why. So, and it's got, you know, if you stretch it out, you can see there's some fun pattern stuff going on in there. So we have 2 triangles. And then we opened up this dark green yarn. So there's 2 different kinds of boxes. One that is like, because the Olympics are in Japan this year, so one that is Japanese colors, like Japanese garden theme. And then the other one is like international competition, because Olympics is trademarked, so you can't use the word Olympics. But you know, so they just called it like international competition. All right. I have zipped along. So yeah, I'm doing the Japanese garden colors is the box that I got. So we made the triangle, and then the next time we opened yarn, it was this dark green yarn, and this is all hand dyed by Destination Yarn, which is in the U.S. So so then they had us make these cool lattice lacy squares that you attached to the triangle. And so we've got our triangle going, and now we've got lacy things attached to it. And then at the top of that, you've got like a border going along. So we know it's a shawl. Like they've told us it's a shawl. They've spilled the beans on that one at this point. And they've said it's not a triangle shawl. So I'm like, okay, I've been really looking at shawls and trying to figure out what I want to make for shawls, because I want to make clothes for myself. I would make clothes for others too, I suppose. But I'm like focusing on what my current needs are. And so I've been looking at shawls, and some of them are very rectangular. So I think that's what we're making. That is my theory. Because another thing that's happened is as we're making this, it's basically, she's talking very, very much about how it's a straight line across the top here. And if you notice, we have a straight line going here. So I'm thinking right angles, right? I'm thinking we've got a rectangle that we've started, and the beginning of the rectangle is over here, and that it's going to just keep going across this way with, you know, this, and then some of the base color, and then your next color and some base color, and that probably some symmetry. But then I expect that when we get to the other end of the shawl, it's going to have, this is the other end, and then she's going to have a final color that's the border that goes all around it. That's my guess. So, and I was hoping that it might have some circularness to it in the way they were putting it together, so that it might have so it might look like rings, basically like Olympic rings. You know, I'd have a little bit of a kind of a you know, motif about that kind of, but it seems like at this point we are definitely focusing more on, you know, zigzags that point. It does make me wonder though if we're not going to end up making something that fills in like this white space, and so then kind of creates a little bit of a different look, then goes back the other way. So that's what we're at so far. So this is what I have left over of that dark green. I wound it up and made a little mini ball. But then also here are the other colors that we've opened so far. So I'm like 2 colors behind right now, which is fine though. They're like, this isn't like a race. This isn't an actual competition or anything. You do your pace. So the green, this light green, is the next color. Oh, fleet to foot. Done. So this light green color is the next one that will go on. And then I just opened this one like today. And then so the packages are like little envelopes, or little bags, little paper bags that are folded over with a sticker. And so you can squish them and stuff, and I've been doing that. So I know tomorrow's also yarn. And I kind of took a peek because I was like, all right, I'm guessing it's a light, because like we had the dark green and then the light green, right? So now we've got like the dark orangey pink, and I was guessing there's going to be another light version of that, like a salmon color is what that is, I would say. And I think that's what's next, and I was right. So, so there's like you've got your base color, and then that's like your A, or 1, and then you've got 8 colors in between, and then you've got your final color. So the 8 colors that are in between, so far we know 4 of them. We know the dark, 3 of them technically. We know the dark green, the light green, the dark salmon, the light salmon, that you don't know about yet until tomorrow. But the idea is that all of those colors are likely to be in here. So there's also like some blues. So I'm expecting we're gonna get some blues also. And you know what, there is actually some dark red, like a dark koi. We'll see. Let's see what happens. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. There's definitely times when I'm like, oh my gosh, like stressing me out a little bit. I think that's because of the moving though too. So like making these little things here in the middle, like it was so easy to get it started. Like, okay, yep. But then you got to start attaching it, and that just took me forever. I don't know why. It seemed like it just took me forever to attach those parts to the existing fabric. There be spiders out here. Oh no! Yeah, we have to be careful not to go too off-road. That is the nice thing about when you're doing the chicken stuff, is that there is a road. There's almost always a road you can follow, and usually the roads are safe. Like you got to keep an eye out, because every so often you'll get some, wolf who's just wandered in the middle, like that one, who's kind of a little bit closer to the road than you would like. But in general, the roads are definitely the way to go. Cross country is not the way to go if you're a chicken, if you want to survive. So it's crazy because these little adventures that we're doing right now, these are like, maybe 45 minutes, an hour, maybe 2 hours at the most. Like the Troll Shaws one, I think the Troll Shaws one takes like 45 minutes if you just go straight there. I don't think it's too bad. See another creature on the road in our way. But then it opens up another one where you gotta go and talk to, I think you do a lot of the same sequence again, but you have like, anyway, eventually you open up one that's like 8 hours, and you have all these places to go, and you've got 8 hours to do it. And you can do it in like 4.5. It's just, part of it is because it just takes a little while to walk as a chicken, Middle Earth is big. That's how this is. Yeah. So, all right. So if anybody in the chat has any questions or thoughts, something you'd like to ask that you have a question about. Okay, one last gauntlet. At some point, I will go through the process of showing on stream what it's like to, because I separate out all my chat channels, not all of them. Like I do a lot of division though, and so I'll pop that up at some point, probably between the next set of festivals or something. Oh no, this is fine. They're fine. As long as we don't attack them, we should be fine. Being followed by a swarm of biting sand flies. All right, I think they got bored. Good. Whew. That would be sad to be, make it close to where you're trying to get to and get taken out by a swarm of flies. Number 3, you can press it while you're running, which is possum impersonation. Huh, okay. Crazy. Well, hopefully I don't need it. I'm not good at using my chicken skills, it's true. Oh, do we want to use our Zoom? Shall we? Follow fleetness, ready? Okay, go. So yes, number 3, possum has a glitch. Last time they checked, you can use it while you're moving. It's kind of wild. All right. So speaking of festivals, so actually let me put, is it schedule? Which one is schedule? We'll find out. Schedule is us. Okay. Ha, I just posted the link though, so you can tell when the streamers on the LOTRO stream channel are on. And it's got like the schedule of when we're on and like a social media link that you can, so you can find out more. Like I try to remember to tweet every week, like the day that I'm streaming. I send out a tweet to kind of remind people. B414 also does the same thing. He streams on Tuesdays. So he also puts out a tweet to let people, he does it on my channel though, because he doesn't have a Twitter. But yeah, he does it on my Twitter. But yeah, so he puts that out. And so just as a reminder, you know, hey, don't forget streaming. So yeah, you can follow us on our social medias so you'll know when we're streaming. And then let's see. Where is it? Oh, really? Okay. Events. That's what I was looking for. So that is a link to the forums. And that is a thread that Cord updates when the new schedule comes out. So like usually in February or so, I think, he'll update for that year because the first festival's not, I mean, after Yule Festival, there's a little bit of a gap. So, but you can follow the link to that thread and it'll show you when the festivals are happening. And speaking of, the next festival is Farmers Fair. So Farmers Fair starts August 10th and it runs through August 31st. So we've got a nice good, 3 weeks there. So every Thursday during those 3 weeks, we'll be over at the Farmers Fair. Now, there used to be a summer festival and a Farmers Fair, and they were separate, but they had a lot of overlap in terms of where they were happening and things. So when the Midsummer Festival came out last year, that was also released at the same time as the wedding of Aragorn and, oh my gosh, just forgot her name. You know, the elf, Elrond's daughter. Wow, my brain just stopped. Uh-oh, we've been discovered. I'm gonna fleetly go. The salamander likes the look of us. Yeah, when in doubt, go in the water. How's Flu doing? Oh my gosh, he's got a Tomb Raider chasing him too. Okay, looks like they're falling off. Shoo. Okay, so when Aragorn and Arwen got they went ahead and did the wedding of that. It's like volume 5, and that takes place in Minas Tirith. So in at the same time as that was released, because that is a separate, like a book, but it's included, like it's, I think free to play have access to it. At the same time as that was released, they also released a new festival, which is the Midsummer Festival, also takes place in Minas Tirith. So Minas Tirith is all decorated up and all fancied up and everything. So because it would basically be like non-stop festival between Midsummer and Summer and Farmers Fair, they rearranged things a little bit. So Midsummer is a little bit, takes the part of the summer kind of, and then they took Summer Festival and combined it with the Farmers Fair last year. And that seemed to go pretty well. So then they took the summer festival tokens and converted those into the Farmers Fair tokens. So those tokens don't even exist anymore. I'm pretty sure they're all Farmers Fair tokens. Like it was automatic, at least for my characters it was. Yeah, so if you're looking for the summer festival, the old summer festival, you're going to want to check out the Farmers Fair. If you're looking for the midsummer festival, that already happened this year. You have to wait till next year. Yes, it happens at midsummer. It was fun. It was a good one. I like that. I like running around Minas Tirith. And the music is so cool because they basically took a lot of the musical themes from different parts of the game that were already existing and did them up and made them, more cheery. And yeah, it's nice. I like the Midsummer Festival. So yeah, so the Farmers Fair is coming up, and that'll be the majority of August, starting August 10th. So that is awesome. Looking forward to that. Where are we going? I can't remember who we have to talk to. It should be on my map. Oh, way up there. Oh, we're gonna go talk to the Ent, maybe? Been funny if we talked to the bog creature. That would be pretty funny. So, yes. So next week is Hobnanigans, and Hobnanigans is usually a long weekend event. So it starts on Thursday, and then it runs through Sunday, I think. Actually, wait, hang on, I have the dates. I just went ahead and grabbed the dates while I was looking at stuff. And I gotta zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. All right, my chicken zooming. So, Hobnanigans. There we go. So, Hobnanigans is next week from August 5th, starting at 10 a.m. server time, through, which is Thursday, and then through the 9th. So, 5th, 6th, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So, Monday, is that right? At 3 a.m. So, you've got like the whole long weekend to go and do Hobnaniganing if that's your thing. And I would show you Hobnanigans next week. I would take you there and walk you through how to do it. However, I will not be streaming next week. So if you were like, putting that on your calendar, go ahead and just mark that in gray. I will not be here next week because we are moving house. We're moving from one house to another next week. So the chicken says say no to Hobnanigans. Okay, so I always find that really interesting because like the chicken lands on the field and, gets booted around and whatnot. And then, somebody scores. Oh, just this chicken. Okay, you can be not hit around and have Hobnanigans. Got it. But then the chickens, like, they come back for more. So I figure my head canon on this is that the chickens must find this, hilarious. And it is, an amusing sport to them is what I'm thinking. That's my guess. So, yeah, I'm thinking the chickens think it's a very silly, silly thing. All right. Oops. Look at that beautiful sky and the beautiful water. That's one of the things I love about this game. It's just like, look at that. They use the same magical buffers they use in the ale hall. No damage. I like it. Look at these chickens. Just out for a stroll. Oh my gosh, this game is just so picturesque. I end up taking so many screenshots. I don't necessarily do anything with them, but I do take them. Okay, yeah, I'm ready to zoom. Nearly ready. Okay. Flu, almost ready to zoom. I bet you'll catch up when you do. So, yeah, it's fun. I like looking at this game, and I actually really do like coming up here to Avondale and having an excuse to go swimming because the water effects are so pretty and like, look at that, just like, yeah, it's so nice. It's so pretty. Like the sky looks like the moon, but I don't see the moon. Oh, I may have my graphics turned down even a little bit. What's that? Is that something on the ground, on like the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of the lake? No, not that one. That looks like the moon. I would agree. But what's this crescent thing that I'm seeing over here in the middle?
Yeah. I think it's just the bottom. I'm like, what if there's a shipwreck down there? That's awfully big for a chicken. I think it's like a rocky outcrop. So next week, you should all go and enjoy Hobnanigans in my stead, since I will not be there to enjoy it. I mean, we'll be getting my computer set back up at some point. But yeah, the majority of the week will be taken up by moving stuff from here to there. So we live in Europe, we live in the Netherlands, and neither of us are particularly keen on driving. So we have not gone and picked up driver's licenses here. We don't own a car. We do everything by bicycle or by walking. We take the train, we take the bus, things like that. So next week is going to be all about either, piling things into backpacks and whatnot and bussing it over, or also we're getting a bakfiets, which fiets is like bicycle in Dutch. So bakfiets is like basically it's a cargo bicycle. So you've got the bicycle part, and then in front of the bicycle, it's got like this big cargo space. It kind of reminds me of like those giant shopping carts that you get in the U.S. for kids. Where it's got like the kids got their little car, and you've got part of it's the little car that the kid's sitting in, and part of it's the grocery cart where you're trying to put all the groceries, and it steers always really funny. That's kind of what it reminds me of in the way that it looks. I think the handling of it is much better than those carts that you see in the grocery stores. So anyway, so yes, we're getting a cargo bike, as it were. Already did. So my job here will be to load up crates and boxes and whatnot, and then Sweetie's gonna bicycle it over to the new house and unload it there, and then we just do it again. So okay, so we have made it all the way to Longbow, and he says, which is funny because we're on Treebeard and we're talking to an ant on Treebeard, so he says, "Hum, well now, wolves, you say, despicable creatures and cruel, but the Shire is too far away. I have my own forest and my own troubles to attend. I am sorry, but I cannot help you." And that is the end of our Avendom adventure. So, zoom. They're going to send us back any day. What happened? Send me back. Okay, there we go. So it's kind of nice. These little adventures, they send you back to where you started, rather than you having to run back as a chicken, through all the stuff you just did and try to and hope you don't die or something. Because when you do the longer one, the 8-hour one, there are some really tricky areas. Like there's the unforgiving stair. That's not the name of it. The winding stair, the bitter stair, the crippling stair. I don't know. There's something called a stair, and it's got Angmarum dotted along. They will notice you, so you have to wait for them to, as they make their pass, and then you slide around them and stuff. It's a little crazy. All right, so here we go. Flying the coop, Avendom. George flaps his wings excitedly. It seems he sees something approaching. And so that would be the rooster that wants to have a chat with him. Oh, and here it comes. We have another hobbit here, too. So there we go. All right. So how far did Mr. Hobbit get? Oh, well, no, he may not. Awesome. Nice. Okay. Cool. So let's see. What's a nice, easy one we could do? Oh, Breeland. Can we do Breeland in half an hour? Or is Lone Lands more of a half-hour one? Lone Lands is a half-hour one. 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 Lone Lands is a
Which one can we do in like 25 minutes? Just one? Okay, so let's do Lone Lands then. Okay, so we talked to George. Oops, I already did. Hi, George. He's like, yes. George still seems agitated. We examine George. Okay, George says, cut. That's what George says. So funny, because you know how in different languages, animals say things differently? Like the way it's interpreted in that language is different. And I don't know what all it is in Dutch. But I did, so as part of learning Dutch, I picked up some children's books and like, you know, the bright colored, you know, comic kinds of stuff. And so I'm trying to, trying to learn a few things that way. It's kind of funny. All right, so I am going to follow the Affadilio. Awesome. And I got Fufu and, oh, that's me. And where's Mr. Hobbit? There he is. He is joining us for our chicken adventure. Yeah, so some people make brand new characters all the time. And I have been doing a little bit of like what Mr. Hobbit is doing, which is like where you have the same named character over and over again on the various different servers. And I kind of like that because then it's like, you know, it's you. The other people know it's you. There we go. So I kind of like that, you know. I mean, so like if you see, you know, Adamantia, you know, it's me, or Arthaliel or whatever. So I kind of like that. All right. Oh, fleet, yes. I fleeted. Or at least I tried. Let me put speech bubbles up. That is the one thing is that it resets your settings. And this is one that it doesn't save with your UI settings, unfortunately. So it resets all of that every time. So if I wanted to like change up my chat channels and have regional and those various things set up separately, even if I set it up in one session, it won't save. And so you have to redo it every session. So that's kind of a bummer. That's something I would love to see them implement, is because you can save your UI settings and load that on a future character. Like I could be loading my UI settings here. I just haven't bothered. So having something in, and what I'm saying by UI settings is like it would change, I'll show you, you know, it'll change your bar, it'll change the way it looks. For right now, I have the basic UI settings here. But my, one of the ones I've saved, it creates like this bar here. You can have, you know, more of them up above, but you can also have a couple of them on the side. And so I've done that. And like my bags are here in the middle when you first start a new character, but I have moved them over to the side and I saved that. So I've saved a whole setting. So let me show you. So it's /UI layout. Oops, that's not how you spell layout. Layout. Oh my goodness. Load, and then you tell it the name of what you saved it as. So I saved mine as like sidebar 2, actually. I've got a couple of them. So it's going to notice it changed a few things, right? I have it set so this is bigger, so I can see these buttons a little bit bigger. You notice the colors changed because I have a certain skin that I have saved it as. And like my bags, they're all over here now because that's where I had put them. Yes. Okay. So, so those settings you can save, right? And it like adjusted where our faces are, like all these settings, like how big this is, where it's located, how big, you know, where is this located, all the things that you've already got, like the size of my chat window, you know, I've set that at a certain size and it does that for me, all that sort of stuff. But it doesn't save like those settings, like the chat bubbles, the profanity filter, those you have to set, and all of your chat tabs you have to start all over. It doesn't save any of that, any of those settings. So that's interesting that it does that. You know, that it's that some things are savable and some things are not. So that's something I wish they would add, is to allow your chat tabs to have a saved setting that then I could, you know, just boop 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 and it would go. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty neat. So, all right. So here we go. We are headed through the Shire. Yes. So if anybody from SSG is listening, hint hint. Wouldn't that be neat? All right. So yes. So here we are. We're running through the Shire, and we are going off to talk to a creature in the Lone Lands. Where they want us to go. So George, again, the background on this one, remember, is that George feels that help must be found from beyond the Shire to defend against the invading wolves. So our job is to go talk to a creature of the Lone Lands, and this creature is Radagast the Brown. And Radagast the Brown may be found in the tower at Oscaruth. So that is where we are headed. And that is the only creature that we need to talk to in the Lone Lands. So really, this is a pretty straightforward run. Oh, excuse me. We started over here at Sandson's farm, and basically, you know, came through Wamey. We're on the Great Eastern Road, past Throgmorton, past Stock. We're going to go into Breeland. We're just going to keep on going past Buckland, past Adso's Camp, past Breetown, past all of that, past the marshes, and into the Lone Lands. And then we keep on going. Oh, we're going to zoom. Hold on. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoomed. Okay, so yeah, so Bree, cross Bree to the Lone Lands, cross the Lone Lands, past Forsaken Inn, past Weathertop, all the way over to Ostgaruth. Wouldn't it be nice if a hunter could just take a chicken? Whoop. If this hunter carrying a chicken. That'd be so funny. Anyways, we're going to go talk to Radagast in his tower. Now, here's an interesting thing. So most of the time, as a chicken, I'm pretty sure you can't transition. What did we forget about? Running through stock instead of going around the wall. Yeah. I mean, I guess, but it's better not to run into any errant wolves, though. So, but anyway, so yeah, usually you can't go through doors. Like you can't go into the Bird and Baby Inn as a chicken. Like the transitions are not available to you as a chicken. Just like you can't talk to a stable master. They're just like, what? You're a chicken. You know, like they don't care. But for Radagast, he's in that tower, and you might run into a drunk hobbit with your shortcut. That's funny. So yeah, so it's really interesting that when we get to Ostgaruth, we will be able to go into the tower where Radagast is and go up and say hi. So I find that interesting. Oh, there's a Bachfeets. Link to a Bachfeets. Awesome. At my website even. So yes, so I have a website and also a YouTube channel. And then of course, these streams are here on the LOTRO Twitch channel. So each of us that streams on here, I mean, we're all volunteers. Just FYI, in case you were thinking, hey, tell me SSG. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not them. But so each of us, though, that streams on here, we have like a playlist that Eldeleth is gracious enough to update that pretty regularly or from time to time, which is so good of her. She does so much work for this channel. So anyway, so we each have a playlist, and you can just sit there and look at all of our videos there. But it doesn't allow you to interact with them necessarily. Like you can't leave a message or a comment or anything like that. So I then take my videos, and not as frequently as I should, I do eventually load them up onto my YouTube channel. And so there's a playlist there of Heart of a Hobbit. And then there's also a playlist on my YouTube channel for Before's Plugging Along series as well, the Tuesday night series. So you can find both of those on my YouTube channel. And there you can leave us comments, and if you have questions and stuff like that, we try to be attentive to, to making sure to, if people have something that they want to ask about, that we answer those questions for you. So, wait, where's everybody going? Oh, okay. And then I also have a website. And so Before is way better about this than I am, but Before has been taking their stream and having an accompanying blog post where they're talking about what they are doing on their stream. And whereas I just kind of cross-post the videos to the blog posts from the YouTube, and you can leave me comments there if you'd rather do that there than at the YouTube. So they're not so much a they're tagged, so it's a little bit different of a way to interact with the information. But they also go up on my website, as well as various other little things. So my lifebeyondtheshire.com website. Hey, Lils of Laurelin, how's it going? So the Life Beyond the Shire website has the stuff that I do for fun, like the LOTRO stuff and various other things like that. I also have another website which is a little bit more business focused, and that is focusing more on like Dutch culture and helping kind of with education, letting people learn about what it's like to live in the Netherlands, and you can ask me questions and stuff like that there. So, yeah. So, how are you doing, Lils of Laurelin, today? We are out here being chickens in the world, having a great time with that. Yes, Affadil says, poor Adso. I'm looking forward to the continuing adventures of Adso Haybank. Where in a 10-part series, we finally finish his end. So we bring this up occasionally when somebody from SSG is streaming. We'll put this into the comments. That is something we would love to see, because you know how you've got like the furthering adventures of Bilbo Baggins. If you go to Rivendell, there's a 10-part mission series there that you can do, and it's a little side adventure that Bilbo had while he's staying in Rivendell, and it's like after the Fellowship has left Rivendell, and they're on their adventure, and so there's like a concern that, oh my gosh, did Bilbo think it was a good idea? Did he go follow them? Like, where's he gone? Is he okay? Is he safe? We're kind of worried about this old hobbit, So there's like a 10-part storyline that you can go through with that. And there's some cute things that you can get, like some housing items. You can actually get a Bilbo who stands around in your yard, like a reading and stuff like that. So I did. So it's fun. We've done those quests, and I like those. They're missions. So we've done those missions, and so it's cool because you can repeat them. Like you can do them once a day, so you can do all 10 of them, and then the next day you can do all 10 of them again, and stuff like that. So we've done that, and I like those missions. So and it's like, how do you incorporate missions in LOTRO? Because you got to be careful not to step on a part of the lore in a way that's not. That would not be accurate to the source material, right? So, and that's one thing I've noticed, and I'm not the only one, like Corey, the Tolkien professor, mentions this a lot too, that, the people who've put together LOTRO really seem to have spent a lot of time looking at the source material and the lore, and, making sure that the decisions that they make for the game are consistent with what you could have found in the actual books and whatnot, right? So that's it's important to I enjoy watching how they make those decisions. So it makes me wonder like how off characters would they go? Like would they do an Adzo thing. Would they do, Thornley's work site, would they do anything with that? But man, that would be so cool because for 14 plus years, Adso's been trying to build his area. And same thing with Thornley's work site. It's been sitting there in, potential repair. They've already got one house completed. What's the rush? So it's like, I really enjoy the rebuilding hit bold that you can do later on out in Rohan. Which, by the way, I really like running around Rohan. I know there's some people that are like, but I don't know, there's something about it. I mean, there's some really sad storylines out there, absolutely. But there's just something, I really enjoy going out and doing the Rohan stuff. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there because I know that sometimes people are like, Rohan, blah. I'm like, I like it out there. Then again, I like doing crazy things like being a chicken and talking to Bingo Boffin. So maybe I'm not like, your average MMO player. So anyway, so we would love to see a mission set wherein we get to go do Adso's camp and Thornley's work site and, rebuild those. Hello, Mr. Dwarf. Oh, nice. Somebody else is jumping through as well. That's fantastic. It's always fun to interact with people as a chicken. Because, like I said, there's a limited set of options that you have. But jumping around and being silly is always one. It's always a good one. So yeah, Mr. Hobbit would also love to see some of these. I know, right? It would be so cool. Like they could totally do it. It would, and the problem would be when you come out of it after you've done the rebuilding, and it would have to be phased so that you would see the rebuild. And that's the problem. So, and because it'd be a mission that you'd be doing over and over again, it would have to reset in some fashion. So, and that's the only part that would make it less cool. But they did it with Hitbold. They could do it for Adso, right? Poor Adso. He's always going to be there with who's Bill Fernie and all them being jerks to him. Yeah, so in this area, we are traveling along. Oops, that's not a map. Hang on. Oh no, I got rid of all my things. All right, I zoomed, and now I gotta pull you back up. I'm really bad about getting the tooltips. All right, I guess that's the only one I need to have. It's nice to have the rest of them though. So, Aragorn's horse, right? So, with one of the releases, and this is before my time, there was one that you got that had an adventure like this for chickens, but for horses. And you got to go interact with the various set of horses, right? Like there's a horse in Combe that is one of the horses that you can interact with, I guess, in that series. Anyway, I would love to have that. Like, I think that'd be so cool. But it was only available if you pre-ordered that one thing like 10 years ago. So it's not available anymore, which is sad. I think that'd be so cool. So there's obviously was at one point some technology built in. And obviously with like the chicken stuff, there's the technology built in to be able to do a session play, but out in landscape, right? So it makes me wish that they would put the horse one in some fashion for us to go off and be horses. That'd be so cool. Although I guess, when you get down to it, like they have to balance these social-esque sorts of things versus, what is somebody going to subscribe for, right? Like if you're like, hey, we've added, session play where you can go and be a horse. Like, is that going to add subscribers? You got to pay for the time that the developer takes to do that work, so is it going to generate the income to have paid that developer? Hard to say. Whereas, Gundabad or Blood of Azog, those are things that are likely to bring in subscribers or have somebody, buy something that they haven't bought before, things like that. So I understand that creating session play for being a horse is probably not as high on their list of things. So, although as Mr. Hobbit said that this is the furthest out they've been on Treebeard so far. Fantastic. We last, oh yeah, Zoom is available. I should zoom. Let me zoom. Zoom. So last weekend we came out with our kin and we were out here zooming around. And we did like the quests that come in and out of the Forsaken Inn. So we did like everything that took us up there, excuse me, and on all the things that were down here. And like we wandered around quite a bit. And so now we've got all the vector quests that sent us to Oscaruth. And so we've picked those, or we've turned those in and picked up some of the other quests for the area. So we've just gotten started on there. So we were in this area as our main characters, which these are, but not as chickens, last week. Last weekend. But we haven't been out here since then. A funny joke on the screen, in case you missed that. It says, the players say, "You're not going to skip out on horse session play, are you?" SSG says, "Nay." I like it. Yeah, but they won't do the sheep because that'd be a bad idea. They're just horsing around. Exactly. Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool. Could you imagine? And like you'd end up in Rohan and talking to Shadowfax. I mean, like there's so many cool things. Yeah, there'd be so many cool things you could do with that. But we'll see. Like I said, I really enjoy these silly social aspects because check this out, right? Like we have been wandering around in LOTRO and we have seen like how many different areas. We saw the water in Avendim that you wouldn't necessarily have taken the time to just look at. There's actually a route that we normally take when we go up into Avendim, and we go up the Brandywine River. And when you, let me zoom out here and show you real quick. So when you, pass over the King's Crossing there, indeed it is in time. Thank you. Oh, one of our kinnies was out here. Nice. So when you come up to King's Crossing as a chicken and say if you come up through the river, which pretty much you wouldn't do that unless you were a chicken. So you're coming up the river and you come to King's Crossing and there's just like this, so, you see it at a distance, but as you get closer and closer, it just looms so huge in front of you and it's gorgeous, right? And without doing like this chicken session play, I never would have seen that. I never would have spent time swimming up the river to get into Avendim because, I would only probably go up there if I was around that level. And if I was around that level, then I would just take the road and I would get resources along the way and, that sort of thing. So it's, it's quite, it's quite interesting how this actually does bring us into another, into a part of the game that we wouldn't necessarily be seeing otherwise. Oops. Got a little off-road there. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought I pushed the wrong button. Nope, I did the wrong thing there. Hang on. I think I'm following you. Whee. There we go. Now I'm following you. I got a little behind there too. I'll zoom here in a second. Well, in like 10 seconds, I will zoom. So yeah, I love the idea of just having a huge group of chickens go out into the world. So yes, I love the idea that they could do more session play that would bring us out into the world to see more of the world. I think that would be worth their time. I just did, sorry, to show us, things that we don't normally get to see or that we normally wouldn't take the time to see. I think that is, I think that'd be cool. But I'm not the one who pays the bills for SSG. So I'm not the one who has to figure out where their time is gets allotted. So, yeah. So I get it. They have to balance things out. It's all about, where do you put your time and energy, right? Okay. Oh, hey, I should make sure everybody knows about the freebie of the week. Oops. All right. So this week, the freebie is some gold dye. So if you haven't already gotten that this week, the code will go through today. It'll change tomorrow. So do make sure you use it today before before it goes away. Down here in the bottom corner, there isn't one on mine because chickens don't have the ability to buy things. But it is the LOTRO store icon, and it looks like a coin usually. And you click on it, and it brings up the LOTRO store. So you go to the over on the far right side of the pop-up window will be like redeem code, and you click on that, and then you copy and paste this code in there, which is all that glitters. You just put that in there, and it will automatically give you that pot of gold dye. Now it'll show up only on the character that you are on that server, that you're on, and it's a one-time thing. So make sure you do it if you have multiple servers. Make sure you do it on the server where you would like that to be received, because you don't get one for every server, unfortunately. That'd be pretty cool, but it's not a thing. It's not like the Hobbit gifts, not quite. Hey, Frederick the Elder, how you doing? Okay, so here we go. Headed off to Radagast in his tower. Radagast. And this will be the last thing that we do. So when we are done here, it'll send us back to the farm, and we will wrap up there. Hey, Epic Googer, how's it going? I've been streaming for about 2 hours. Hey, Weerella. She's surrounded by chickens. All right, so Radagast says, "Greetings, my little rooster friend. What is this? Your coops are threatened by wolves. Wolves are among the most craven of the Dark Lord's servants, and this proves them even more so. Only those wolves, not the good wolves." He says, "Unfortunately, the troubles here are much greater, with effects more far-reaching than those which trouble the Shire. I am sorry, but I cannot leave the Eaglane just yet." So another one where, sorry, but I cannot help you, my dear friend. Oh. I just realized I should grab as many pictures as I can before I disappear. All right, I've disappeared. Yeah, going all right here. We're getting ready to move. So a little bit, getting a little anxious about that, perhaps. I mean, on the one hand, there's not a lot to do until we can move the stuff. So it's a lot of waiting, and then go. So, yeah, so there's that. I think that's where we're at, is that, the activity starts Monday. And so waiting, and really we can do a little bit of prep work on Sunday, like, the dishes, once they're clean, we can put them in box, put them away and whatnot. But like up until then, we're using the dishes, we're using the pots and pans, all that kind of thing. So, all right, so I'm gonna talk to George, and George flaps his wings excitedly. It seems he sees something approaching. And there we go, we have finished that, and here comes the rooster to have a little chit chat. And off he goes. So, all right. So there we go. That was a whole bunch of little fly in the coops that we did. Awesome, awesome. So then what we have left is George still wants to send us to Breeland and to the North Downs and to the Trollshaws. So once we do those three, then that opens up the next bigger one. Oh, and I think Is it after you finish those that you get? No, I think it's the next one. I think it's the next level up where you go and you've got like 4 hours to do something. And you finish that one. I think that's when you get the Crosser of Roads. Or that might be the 8 hour one. But that's when you get the Crosser of Roads title, which is pretty fun. Oh, and the Cloak of the Cluck. I think the Cloak of the Cluck comes before Crosser of Roads, maybe? I think they're two separate things, two separate adventures. So yeah. So don't be a hobbit and wait till it's too late to wash the dishes. Well, we are not turning the house over to the Sackville Bagginses, so we will not be leaving dirty dishes in the sink. We'll be cleaning our dishes and taking them with us. We are going on an adventure, but not as far as Bilbo or Frodo went. So, yeah, we'll be remembering our handkerchiefs as well. So, okay. So, thank you all for coming along with us. That was a lot of fun. I hope you all had a good time watching. So, and you can see that I can't type. I should just copy and paste these things. I usually do. I just was, some days my fingers are slow. And actually, that's not the one I wanted anyway. I wanted the list of all of us. What was the list of all of us again? Oh my gosh, I did this earlier. Thank you. This is why I have a hard time managing my own thingies sometimes. So yes, that's the schedule with the link of everybody who's a streamer. So Epic Uger, who just showed up, is one of them. B4, who's been in the chat, is another one. Myself, we've got Shoreless Skies was in earlier. They're streaming once a month, going around and checking out taverns, fun things like that. So yeah, and then we've got a whole bunch of other cool streamers. On Fridays, the only employee that you'll see on here regularly, that's Cordovan. He's the community manager for SSG, and he streams on Fridays at noon server time. So for us, that's like 6 o'clock at night, but that's because we're in the Netherlands. So we have a little procession there following the rooster around. That's fantastic. I think I shall not follow you, but I shall watch you. That's great. Okay, so yeah, on Fridays is a great set of streams because you've got Cord on at noon server time, and then you've got Corey, the Tolkien professor, on for 2 hours after that, and he does a great show. And then so here's the Friday streamers. We've got Cordovan, and then Signum U is the Tolkien professor, and then Druid's Fire is after that, and she's always off wandering around somewhere. And then you've got Big Ed Mustafa after that. I think it might be Big Ed who plays. Is Big Ed the one who does free to play? Because there's somebody on the stream team who is free to play and goes everywhere, does all the stuff. So if you're ever curious about what that's like to be a free to play player, like what you have access to and what you don't, I'm pretty sure, Big Ed Mustafa then, who's on after Druid's Fire, is the one to check out. Because we sometimes, that is a question like, hey, I'm free to play. Can I, go to Moria? Can I do this? Can I do that? Big Ed will know exactly where you can and can't go and what that looks like. Usually I miss some of that because I'm over on Laurelin doing Green Dragon Fridays, because when we get together at the Hobbits over on Friday evenings our time, which is in the middle of some of the streams. But anyway, I can sometimes do two things at once, but not always. Okay, so yes, and so a reminder that I will not be streaming next week. Next Thursday, I'll be taking the day off because that is the day when all the furniture is moving. So yeah, I'm not going to try and set my computer up in a corner and sit on the floor trying to stream while furniture is being moved around me. I think that's a bad idea. So I'll be taking that day off. So I won't be streaming on that day. But remember, Hobnanigans is next weekend, so definitely go and spend some time, booting those chickens around, getting those tokens, buying the emotes and stencils and yard items and Yes. Oh, yeah. So Thursday streamers are myself, and then Eldeleth is on in like 6 hours, I think, and then we have Epic Cougar after her. So I thought, did we put Thursday on? Well, yeah, I did earlier. So and then when I come back the following week, we have Farmers Fair for the rest of August. That's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna be running around. We're gonna be, doing chores for the hobbits, for the farmers, and we're in fishing, and it's a great time. Farmers Fair is so much fun. So we will see you all again then in 2 weeks for me. But make sure you come back because when other people are on, because the people have a good time. So I appreciate you all coming along for our chicken and chill adventures for the day. So yeah, I think, thanks. I appreciate you getting those in there, Epic Cougar. Thank you very much for doing that. So yes, so I think that'll be the end of our time here today. So make sure you do bring any questions you have or any thoughts you have, in 2 weeks when I'm back. And, I'm happy to answer questions. We'll be definitely farmers fairing it up big time. That's gonna be great. So thank you all for joining me on this journey. And as you probably can tell, I really do enjoy my time in Middle Earth, and I'm glad to take you all along with me on my journey. So wherever you go and whatever you do, I encourage you to stay connected to the Hobbit side of your heart. All right, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye now.